So are the Packers benching Jordan Love this week, Tom?
No, Brandon, they are not.
They're not?
No.
Yeah, everybody's benching their quarterback this week, right?
No.
Got to bench him. Got to bench him to play him.
Yeah, no.
Can't get your Joe Flacco if you don't bench your quarterback, right?
Brandon, just Russell Wilson is being benched.
No, that can't be true.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a moment of silence to remember.
Oh, everybody's benching their quarterback.
Hey guys, Russell here. Yes, the typical boring, yes, Russell, the robot Russell, the one you guys love to know. Real exciting. I'm real exciting. But anyways, everybody has to have an alter ego, right? And I've been thinking about what my alter ego would be, and I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you gotta be unlimited. You gotta have a thought process of being unlimited. So when people ask you, what you're thinking about or what you want to do in life or where you want to go, you gotta be unlimited. Tell them I'm unlimited. You know what I mean? So when they ask you certain questions like,
who brings you motivation, Russell?
Mr. Unlimited.
Who's your role model, Russell?
Unlimited.
We here.
We benched. We benched.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is G. Uppy. Yes. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh, that's coming in hot already. Coming in hot
with the hundo.
Joey.
Hundo. And that's for you, Perna.
Oh, my God, Joey. Let's just pretend that they're saying, Joey, Joey, Joe!
Johnny, John, John!
Elway was the first one to believe in Flacco, by the way. Elway was the first one to believe in Flacco.
He's got to hold on to anything, folks. Just let him have this. It's been a time.
John Elway said Joe Flacco is hitting his prime. 2019, Elway said that. And then I don't know what happened in Denver. Dude, look, one thing I want to say about Joe Flacco right now, him throwing a bunch of touchdowns does not surprise me. Him carving up defenses does not surprise me. Him running outside of the pocket and throwing on the run, that surprises me, which I saw him do last night. I was like, where is that coming from? A lot to talk about today.
Listen, I thought we still had the video uploaded.
Yeah.
Because that legitimately might be the biggest Nostradamus.
There's a caveat there because it's true. He kind of sucks during games and he's kind of awesome during games. So the real question is, what do you do with a quarterback who is kind of awesome and kind of sucks at the exact same time? He's never one or the other.
It's everything everywhere all at once. Yeah, curse wheel, Browns. Well, listen, it was a little nerve-wracking. Yes.
Yeah.
A little nerve-wracking. Amari Cooper got injured, right? And it was like, oh no, Elijah Moore. And then it's like, is this... But then they took care of business. Joe Flacco's like falling asleep on the sideline. He's just like, this is not a problem. Not a problem. But... Oh, wait, hold on. Is this?
Well, let's see. Here's the thing about the curse wheel. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
The duct tape is not doing a good job. So it landed on 6. I couldn't remember who I put at 6. Then I saw it was the Browns. And I was like, they're not going to lose this game. I was like, I'm going to spin it again. And I've stayed honest to the curse through the course of 2. I said, so it landed on 10 the second time where I've got the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah.
And when I went into the edit, I'm like, I can't be dishonest to the curse wheel. It's going to
can't.
look stupid, and there's nothing I can do about it.
It's
but
true.
then I thought, wait a second. It cursed the Lions. They survived the curse. It curses the Browns. They survived the curse. Did it just predict a Browns-Lions Super Bowl? The only two teams that won't
I did not. That's
fall
crazy.
for the curse, the Browns and the Lions. I think the 49ers got away from it earlier in the
for a
season.
while. Then they lost 3 straight.
So I think we're set. It's definitely going to be Lions, Niners in the championship game, and the Browns are going to the Super Bowl. That's my thought.
I mean,
Fuck yeah. You ever watched a birth? You would much rather be watching football or playing football than watching that, guys. Trust me. That baby ain't going to remember that he's there or not.
have you watched a birth?
You watched a birth live?
Maybe. Dude. By the way, Perna.
AFC West is a little hard to predict. The Raiders got a little lucky last year. Everything going wrong and them somehow still making it to the playoffs.
I think it's between the Raiders and Broncos finishing last. What if Russell Wilson kind of sucks?
He's not going to kind of suck. 103 passer rating. 25 touchdowns to 6 picks.
How many touchdowns did you just say?
25.
And we're saying that's good?
He missed a few games.
I think that there's some concern.
Broncos are going to have the best running attack in the division.
You think Austin Eckler is worse than Williams?
Unlimited.
It's a tough division.
It's the easiest division I've ever seen in my life. Russell Wilson is going to win MVP, Super Bowl MVP.
Comeback player of the year? What did he
Yeah.
come back from? The Seahawks? Our bet is still on that the Packers go further than the Broncos, and I am going to enjoy a bronze statue of my likeness on your desk.
We'll see.
That's like the biggest bet I've ever won. That was like worse than any scooter bet. That was worse than, that was just a slam dunk. Slam dunk.
Yeah, we'll get into this. The takes are so ridiculous.
I'm actually like, I want to get, so unfortunately, again, this is the second time that major news has broke right after we log off.
Yeah, I need
literally
time to digest that shit.
Yeah. So like, I actually want to hear your stance on it because there's so many things to now figure out, because you had mentioned before this season that if Russell Wilson was the problem in Denver, I know it's going to cost a crap ton of money, but they would move on from him. Yeah, you did a video about that as well,
Yeah.
basically saying, listen, it is not great, but it is feasible. We could do it, right? We can move on. Now it's this weird situation in which when it was announced that he was getting benched, there was conflicting reports. It was over his play, then it was over his contract, and then it seems like now it's over his contract, and then there apparently he knew this was coming, in which they talked to him already, trying to like void those injury guarantees, and this is maybe to prevent him from being injured. So kind of after sitting with it for a little bit, where are you now in like the benching of Russell Wilson? And we'll talk about where we think he's going to go.
Look, I have said the whole time Jared Stidham's the answer, and the fact that it took this long to get to the Stids is the real tragedy. That's it. That's all I'll say.
Is it that you're like? and that's-
No, it's
that's
weird,
it.
dude. Like the information about Russ knowing since October, of course, that came out right after I put up my video about the whole thing. So I didn't even have that nugget for my last video about Russell Wilson. And so basically what the Broncos decided, which we talked about last year after Hackett because of my guy, Zach Seegers, who, if you're a Broncos fan and you want somebody who looks at the nerd numbers and all that shit, follow Zach Seegers on Twitter. And he's got good info. But he was the guy who put up like how the Broncos could move on from Russell Wilson. And all they're doing is by designating him as a post-June 1st cut this offseason, they spread his $85 million dead cap hit over the course of 2 seasons. If they don't do that, they got to eat it all in one offseason. And then if you're eating $85 million dead cap in one offseason, then you got to cut a bunch of dudes because you're basically you're paying 2 quarterback salaries while not having a quarterback, essentially. So that's why they're doing this. It is 100% a financial decision, and it's a financial decision because it's also a based on play performance. Like then I cut this part out of the video, and of course, this is one thing everybody said in the video. It's like the trade for Russell Wilson wasn't as bad as the contract that the Broncos gave him after he got here.
Yes.
Which I liked the contract at the time too, because I just thought Russell Wilson was a better overall quarterback than he is. And what he's getting paid, he has not lived up to those expectations. And then the third part of that is Sean Payton just do not give a fuck about Russ.
No. He doesn't.
Sean Payton goes to bed at night and he just dreams of different quarterbacks running his offense. And people are saying like Sean Payton sabotaged him or the Broncos sabotaged him. None of that's true. Like if Russ was playing well, Sean would be cool with it. Like he may not love the what was it? You got to stop kissing all the babies was his quote from the offseason. Yeah. He may not love like that part of the game, but Russ he's done the things, at least like from the public facing perspective, that I think Sean and the organization has wanted him to do. This season, it's been a lot quieter. He's played better than he did last year, but like where he needs to play, the way Sean Payton wants to call an offense, Russ just can't do that. I think that the game plan has been just simplified to a point where the offense is boring, it's predictable, and you're going to get those 2 to 5 really nice plays from Russ every game that sort of keeps you in it. And then there's just no passing game in the middle of the field. It's Russ looks where he wants to go first, decides it's not there, throws to the running back. And the running back's 90% of the time out in the flat. The other 5% of the time, it's Samaje Perine sneaking through the middle and he dumps it off over the middle.
Yeah.
And for a guy who's been in the league as long as Russ, like it's just you can't have that. If you were a rookie and he's making those like, dude, this guy's got some upside. Wait till the next part of his game develops because then he's going to be unstoppable. But in year 12, it's just, it's not the right fit. And I think there are a couple places where Russ does fit, where it does make sense, where you can win, because when the Broncos run game was working this season, they won games. But like when that's not dynamic, they're just, for lack of better words, so limited.
Yeah, I mean, because now like the next step is like what happens to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they're just going to release him in March.
He's just going to get
post-June designation. Like when I started writing the video, I thought there's still a chance that he might come back. Like, a slim one. Now I think there's none. Zero. Like he's done. He's gone. He's moved on. He's benched. He ain't coming back from this. He got the NFLPA involved with what they were asking him to do, a whole bunch of shit. And they wanted him to remove his injury guarantee for the 2025 season. And he said no. Obviously, like, why would he do that?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Why would he say, yeah, I'll put $35 million up in the air for grabs?
I think it's also because people were talking about like, oh, like, who's going to trade for him? I was like, nobody.
No.
Nobody.
I said the Falcons should in my video, but that's because I think the Falcons might be dumb enough to do it. But
well, because it's not necessarily the player, because I'm sure Russell Wilson is going to go somewhere to get looked at, right? So there are enough QB needy teams out there that could be like, you know what? We could use a Russell Wilson, even if it's to mentor the next guy, but not with that contract. Because like you said, like the trade was bad, but it was the follow-up of that major contract, so much guaranteed money. And then it's like, well, now crap. Yeah. Because you already ate it for the trade and the draft picks and all that. But now it's like, all right, well, now things are going to get a little bit tight because of these numbers here.
The only way a trade happens is if there are two things that are present. One, a team really wants Russell Wilson, and they do not want to compete to sign him as a free agent. And two, Russ is willing to rework his contract upon a trade, right? And we've seen that before where like,
sure,
it's usually like the other way around where a team and a player agree to a trade and the player knows that that team is going to give them a new big fat juicy contract.
Sweat, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
if say the Falcons were interested in Russell Wilson, and apparently the Vikings are the front runner to land Russell Wilson, which I hope to Christ is true, because
You
the
get
man
Kirk
I want
Cousins.
coming to say my team is now Kirk Cousins. Let's just do a little flip flop.
Swap.
Yeah. We wanted Kirk Cousins years ago, and we got Case Keenum instead. So
And
let's
Case
just go
Keenum
back.
took him to the championship game.
Yeah. So like a team would have to want to sign Russ enough where they don't believe they could get him in free agency, because other teams would have to also be heavily interested. And I don't think that happens. I think most teams will be on the, hey, actually Russ would be a nice upgrade over what we have right now. And if we can get him, great. If not, that's fine too. We'll focus on drafting somebody.
Exactly. Dustin, boop, what a fitting. Sorry, I'm behind on these.
Pretty much everybody eats bread.
Everyone.
Banned Justin.
Banned. Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes down to the Broncos, because they have a 5% chance of making the postseason right now, I think just how are your thoughts about like the response over to what this has been? Because I've kind of seen like a mixed response of like people attacking Sean Payton, people attacking Russell Wilson.
I love it.
Like, it just seems like a mess.
It's a reminder of how little people know about football. I love it. I love it. I get both sides of it.
Yeah.
It turns into everything. You got people defending Russ because the Broncos were trying to, take money away from it. Holy crap!
Jesus. King Andrew.
Ooh.
Boop, 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 boop. Damn.
Dang.
Did you curse Jaire Alexander? Did you do it?
No,
Son of a bitch.
no, I did not.
You made him
curse
go out
him.
and call that coin toss.
I
I'll
didn't
talk
tell
about
him. Dude, here's the explanation to it.
dude. I love how like the NFL like landscape is finally starting to see like what a Jaire Alexander interview looks like.
Yeah.
He has been the same ever since he's been drafted.
Yeah.
I love him so much because of how weird he is. And I'm like, yep.
He reminds me of like, he's like, it's like the way he answers questions sometimes reminds me of Gronk.
Yeah.
He gives you a Gronk answers.
Just throw in some yoga and like,
Yeah.
he's
had some nice
your guy.
post games. There was a post game last year that was hilarious, but like that interview, I was like, does he know that he made a mistake there?
Yeah.
I think he does.
Because we established it last time. King Andrew.
Johnny John John.
Woo!
Proudest moment ever.
Yeah. I think anybody who's like defending Russell Wilson's play, saying he like, just pointing to his numbers, they're not watching the full games. It's that simple. And I already apologized to Seahawks fans because I was one of those people. I was excited to get Russell Wilson. Because if you're just looking, you're like, box score, yep, checks out. Highlights, yep, checks out. Look at these throws he's making. Go back and watch some of the throws him and Cortland Sutton connect with this year.
Sutton.
They're as good as any throw in the league. I said, like, he's got the best arm talent of any Broncos quarterback since John Elway. Because even when Peyton Manning was here, like, he fought through those surgeries. He could still get the ball to places, but he didn't have the arm talent he had before. Like, he is an elite thrower of the football still, Russell Wilson. But there's a big part of the field he just doesn't throw to consistently. And there's a disconnect between him and Sean Payton, and it ain't getting rectified. And this weekend is going to be really interesting because if Jared Stidham comes out and plays really well, it'll be vindicating for Sean Payton. If Jared Stidham plays shitty, it'll be vindicating for Russell Wilson. If he plays the same as Russell Wilson, Broncos fans are going to be in hell, absolute hell on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also now going forward, and we knew this, right? Because if Russ was at fault, which I don't think he 100% is, as we've been talking about, if he was at fault, the Broncos have already said that they are choosing Sean Payton over Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
They basically said that when they traded for Sean Payton. And now that he responds directly to the owner, the whole 9 yards, I'm not terribly surprised it went down this path because of the comments that you saw in the beginning of the season. Where, right, it was like, hey, Broncos tried to win the offseason, the kissing babies, like all this stuff, whatever. And it was that Johnny actually, he tweeted this out last night because the Hard Knocks clip, or was it they're mic'd up? I don't know.
Yeah, Ruff was mic'd up for that.
He was mic'd up, excuse me. Yeah, so he was mic'd up. And I like, even just the way that he is, which he is a different kind of dude, right?
Yeah.
Just put it there.
He's a rah-rah guy. He's a rah-rah quarterback.
Very rah-rah guy. I feel like the lack of response from his teammates as well, which we saw last year, because you even said this, right? You're like, can someone come out and just defend Russell Wilson? Like, just come out and let's just even say a little bit, like, hey, we got our QB. Because this looks really bad. It just seems like almost from the beginning, there was a fit there that wasn't right. And I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, the personality of Nathaniel Hackett as the head coach at least probably meshed better with Russ.
Oh, personality-wise, sure. And I think
now you have a coach that it does not mesh. The play is not that great, and you have all the other extracurriculars.
And I think it was on Russ to play better this year and to adjust himself to Sean Payton.
Yeah.
And to Russ's credit, I think he did. I think he tried to play the way Sean Payton wanted him to play. I think he did those things. But it's just not good enough. And then if you go back to Russ in Seattle, okay, they made offensive coordinator changes twice in the last, 4 to 6 years he was there. It was the offensive coordinator. Need a new offense. Offensive coordinator. Need a new offense. Then it's Pete Carroll. That's why he leaves. He goes to Denver where he wanted to go, gets a coach that he wanted, and it was the worst case scenario for everyone. Hackett gone. They bring in Sean Payton. He's been better. Offense has been better, but not good enough. And so now he's going to go somewhere else again. And so there's a lot of blame to put on Russ. It's just a shitty situation. It's just I thought that we're going into another offseason as Broncos fans where we're going to be searching for a QB. And I think they're just going to draft a guy. I don't know if they're going to move up to get a guy. If it's going to be like Jaden Daniels, if they can move up high enough to get him, or if we're going to grab us a nice Michael Penix or even a Bo Nix. Don't know.
So there's so many things I want to talk about today, and we just do not have.
Dude, the Nick Wright's rant about him.
Like, I don't listen to Nick Wright often. No. I've only seen him on clips because I don't watch a ton of sports talk shows because I ain't got time. So I just don't. And usually the takes I see are not great whenever he pops up on the feed. But him talking about Aaron Rodgers hit the nail so hard on the head. Yeah. And here's the thing, because there's no nuance anymore. And this is coming from a person, me, who I am so grateful to Aaron Rodgers for all the time he spent with the Packers. He is one of the greatest players to ever play football.
Dude, I've loved Aaron Rodgers till basically the last year and a half or two.
And him going on, and Ryan Fitzpatrick for that interview was phenomenal. He's like, Ryan Fitzpatrick, class of 2005, double vaccinated.
Yeah, just
it is just so witty and so quick. It's just dude, come on. And the Jets now, because it's not just an Aaron Rodgers story, because now this is leaking into the Jets, because talking to Saleh at that post-game interview, and it's so you don't seem mad.
Yeah.
What's inside of you doesn't seem to be, which is a stupid ass question. There's your New York media. But it's a stupid question. And Saleh's do you want me to just throw the podium? Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah.
Because now the Jets are sitting going into the offseason. You talk about the Broncos woes. The Jets are sitting going into the offseason where they're going all in again, right? It was already confirmed. They're keeping everybody. You have Alan Lazard, who hasn't done anything. Randall Cobb, who I love Randall Cobb. That hasn't gone well. You still need an offensive line. You better pray that Aaron Rodgers comes back healthy. But then you're going to have like a top 10 draft pick. You're going to go and, I'm assuming, get someone along the offensive line to help out there. You better pray that he stays healthy and you win the Super Bowl. And I mean, win, at least get back to it. Because otherwise, it is going to be a nightmare in New Jersey. A nightmare.
Rodgers didn't get to play this year, which sucks.
Horrible.
And then just like, I don't care about what science Aaron Rodgers believes in. I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't judge him for it, but it's like he's just turned his interview platform with McAfee into an area where he can just like vent his frustrations as opposed to like talking about something interesting like football. Like give us anything about football.
Yeah.
Before you go on a diatribe about whatever latest thing you read. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a shit. And I like when he's sassy. I like when he's
Wilson.
Fucking like just a dick. Like those are the things I've always liked about Rodgers.
Yeah.
But like I need it channeled into a more entertaining fashion. He's not entertaining me anymore.
Well, I think it's not even the entertainment point. I think the lack of playing football this year, because even when McAfee asked Rodgers about Jordan Love again, like it was like a week after he asked about him the first time, and he was just like, "Didn't we talk about this last week?" Like you just run out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, we just got to hit the points again because you're not playing football. That's it. You can only say so many words. Oh, Zach Wilson looked pretty good this week. Oh, nope, the team was disappointing this week. Oh, nope, the team was disappointing this week. Oh, yeah, I wish I was out there. Oh, I'm getting a little bit closer. You can only do it so many times, before it's like, all right,
just talk about other players in the league. Like, I hope he just talks about Joe Flacco this week. I hope it's Rodgers talking about Joe Flacco.
That would be more interesting. Like, dude, I would have loved to seen Flacco go against A-Rod last night. That would have been so much fun.
Oh, that game would have been
game.
Awesome last night. Rodgers versus Flacco's. Flacco's. He's two, man.
Flacco's.
Old Joe Flacco.
Flacco's for Flacco's, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to I want to talk about last night's game too. The final Thursday night football game of the season. We survived. We made it. We did it again.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco, first of all, there's a few throws that he made which should have been intercepted. There's like a few of those in like the first half that it was like, ooh, those should have gone the other way. One went to Elijah Moore that was pure like off the hands of the defender, and Moore was just standing there going, oh, okay, and then he took off running.
Gonna happen.
But dude, watching Flacco play and just, it's not checkdowns. It looks like a completely different offense than a majority of the offense we've seen this year. You bring up the Broncos of just like check down or just like, throw the outside, check down. That is not just the Broncos. That is a ton of teams this year.
It is.
And to see Flacco just be like, you know what? Screw it. Air it out. Legitimate, reminding me of like Brett Favre gunslinger mentality of like, hey, this could get picked or it's barely going to get in there, but it's going to be entertaining as hell to watch. This is so awesome to watch too for Browns fans who have endured like the craziest crap these past few years, whether it was Baker and, beating the Steelers and like all the hype behind that, not winning a single game before that, or then even afterwards, Baker he's gone. Then there's that whole issue. Deshaun Watson comes in. They deal with all that crap. Last year happens. Jacoby Brissett plays well. Then Watson comes in. Then this year, all the injuries. And now, for the first time in NFL history, because a team has started 4 quarterbacks at least multiple games, they're making the postseason. Like, it's nuts, dude.
Yeah. My favorite thing is because I said, the Russell Wilson trade was bad, but it's still not as bad as the Deshaun Watson trade.
No.
There are still people who will argue that. They will still argue that, and I think Joe Flacco's success makes that trade look even dumber. Okay? Yeah. And the funniest part of all of this, specifically last night, is Joe Flacco. Which team was Joe Flacco on last year, Tom? Can you remind me?
New York Jets.
Oh, was he a New York Jet?
Yes.
Did they need a quarterback all season after Rodgers got hurt after 2 seconds?
I don't think Flacco looks like that on the Jets.
Yeah, why? Who's their offensive coordinator?
Nathaniel Hackett.
Not a knock on Nathaniel Hackett.
But I think it's also like O-line does play a major role in that as well.
Yes. And the Browns O-line, aren't they missing 3 starters?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, the Jets' starting O-line is worse than basically the Browns' second-string offensive line.
That's accurate, yes.
Jets got to address that. I think the offensive coaching in Cleveland, just better. And then the thing that has really stood out to me with Joe Flacco and the Browns is his ball catchers are open. Like, some of those throws he's making, they're deep, they're like David Njoku was any fucking Jet covering that man last night.
Dude.
Like, we're going to give Flacco a lot of credit, but some of the throws he's making are so easy, I believe even Tim Boyle could do it, okay? Even old Timmy Boyle could get the ball to some of those ball catchers. Amari Cooper, open. Within those open plays, Flacco's put it in these windows. Yep. And his play action game is stronger than any quarterback we've seen in a decade.
Accurate.
That Houdini shit last night, I've never gotten a football boner over a play action. And Joe Flacco hit that ball.
Yep.
It just disappeared.
He's like,
and
I don't have it.
Like, it's fun. So you got to credit Browns coaching. You got to credit their playmakers. Amari Cooper wasn't even in the game last night. Didn't notice. Yep. Elijah Moore. Where was Elijah Moore last year, Tom?
He was with the Jets.
Oh, God. Thank God general manager Aaron Rodgers didn't like Elijah Moore. Probably asked Elijah Moore about his vaccination status and was like, nope, let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of him immediately.
But, like, this is also, that's for you, Perna, by the way. Got a fitty.
Oh, shit.
That's the thing, too. Like, Packers fans heard it all offseason because it was McAfee who was championing it, too. Like, I'll never forget that interview. And a lot of Packers fans have not forgotten that interview where they're just like he was talking to Rappaport and he was saying like how smart Joe Douglas is. And it's just like, yup, he's like brilliant. Brian Gutekunst, we don't know if he's a smart guy, what have you. And a lot of Packers fans were like, bookmarked. And I know, listen, the Packers, they are not perfect at all right now. They had issues on the defense. Joe Barry needs to go. Jaire Alexander's walking off to coin tosses that he shouldn't be doing and almost messing that up. They're not a perfect team. But boy, oh boy, do they look a whole lot better because Alan Lazard didn't get another contract. He hasn't done anything, right? Randall, and he didn't want to be there. Let's be very clear, too. Lazard didn't want to be in Green Bay anymore. Randall Cobb, who I always love, and I will never say a bad word about Randall Cobb, hasn't done anything over there either. Like, Nathaniel, like, there's things that the Packers have done that Gutekunst got, like, crucified for that is now coming back, and it's like, you know what? It wasn't a bad move.
And if Rodgers was playing, we probably wouldn't be talking about half of those things.
Yep. Exactly.
Like so it's not even that Aaron Rodgers is wrong. It's that he was wrong because he wasn't in there. He wanted his guys, and then he unfortunately got hurt. So it just makes him look like a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Like he demanded all that. Like if Russell Wilson made the Broncos bring in all these players that he requested, we'd be talking about Russell Wilson differently on top of already crucifying Russell Wilson. We'd have an extra thing.
Absolutely.
But he hasn't said anything about anyone until he started liking tweets. Started liking a lot of tweets.
Yep.
Russell Wilson did.
Yes, he did.
That's as aggressive as he gets.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm gonna like this tweet so.
He's got a team to handle his dirty work.
This one is a little bit deflated.
Here, I got one for you, NPR. I'm gonna shout out Jess, who dropped a 30-minute vlog episode for Christmas. I gave her this idea, but she put it together nicely, and I think you'll appreciate this, Tom.
I love how you're just like, I was the one who came up with this.
I did.
So,
and she was like, I don't know.
She did a nice job, but let's just make sure the thought originated with me.
I know. I got to say that because she didn't want to give me credit for it initially.
Oh, Tom got lucky. You got lucky, Grossi. You almost got Joe buried, Grossi. Almost had your Christmas wishes, Joe, buried into the ground, 6 feet under.
How far can you throw it, Russ?
Yeah, there's nobody. He's still holding on to the ball.
He's holding on to the ball still, going full on Hail Mary.
And
Doesn't get there.
even if they catch it, it would be short.
Done.
And the ball batted down. Broncos lose fucking game. Lose another game in another horrible way.
Letting the Panthers come down to the last second. Woo! My team would never.
Why did I get excited? Oh, so my team could destroy me again. That's why.
He likes to talk a lot of shit. I guess you guys wouldn't know that about him. Merry Christmas Eve, and thanks for stopping in.
My team would never.
Yeah.
I think you need to get that tattooed somewhere.
My team would never.
That's my team would never. Spoilers, they did.
Yeah.
They always.
I know what I'm doing. When I'm talking about
very
the Broncos and I make definitive statements, I'm like, this is going to work out one of two ways. I'm going to look like a genius, or I'm going to look so stupid. People are really going to enjoy how stupid I look. It's a win-win.
Yeah, a touchdown or check down. Yeah, I mean, do you think Sean Payton has called Drew Brees and is like, hey, listen, I've seen the hair. Can you come back? And he's like, just come on, man.
Yeah. But Drew Brees was throwing a lot of slant routes, guys. And those
Michael
work.
Thomas, baby.
Those pick you up 7-8 yards. Our checkdowns to our running backs are picking up no gain. Loss of yardage. That last to the Patriots. I don't know if we gained a single yard on any of those checkdowns to the running backs.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas caught 149 slant routes. Remember, guys?
I want to talk about Alexander. Yeah, so do you know anything about the whole Jaire Alexander thing, or is that more just a Packers thing?
What's that?
Do you know, like, about the Jaire Alexander suspension? Like, what the hell is going on in Green Bay?
Yeah, I mean, I know that LaFleur said it's never just one thing when something like this happens.
Yeah, so to give some context to everybody who's wondering, I did a video on this. So basically, on Sunday, the Jaire Alexander's from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jaire Alexander was not named a team captain. The way that they're doing it this year, and they do it differently every single year. The Packers, they alternate weekly captains, right? Jaire also hasn't played in a little bit too, so he wasn't made a captain. It wasn't anything personal, whatever. So 3 guys go out there. Jaire Alexander goes out to the coin toss as well. And instead of saying defer or receive, he just say like, yeah, we want the defense out there.
We want the defense out there.
You could screw up the coin toss, and some people are finding that out for the first time. You can screw up the coin toss where if you don't say the right thing, and LaFleur even backed this up, and he's like, that's why the coaches, they talk to the refs beforehand, indicating what they want to do, what the coin toss is, like what the coin lands on, because players can screw this up. Because you can screw it up where, let's just say the Panthers receive it first, and they could also receive it after halftime as well, if you don't say the right thing.
Yeah. You got to say defer to the second half.
Yes. So this happens. He almost screws it up, right? Players are laughing, whatever. Then after the game, a reporter goes up to Jaire in the locker room and goes, hey, so you went out there and like you almost messed up the coin toss. He's like, yeah, I don't think coach knew that I was from Charlotte. He's like, the guys, they had my back and what have you, and kind of playing it off. The Packers did not see it as that. So the Packers have suspended Jaire Alexander in front of the Sunday Night Football game. And this is different because the Broncos right now, they have a 5% chance to make the playoffs. It's very small.
You guys need this.
If the Packers win out, they have a 95% chance of making the postseason.
Yeah.
Right? And so going against Justin Jefferson with Jaron Hall, who's going to be the starter. Pick the over on Jaron Hall, by the way. Doing all that, they suspend him, and a lot of people were like, are you kidding me, man? For this coin toss? Like, right in front of one of the most important games to try and get into the postseason against Justin Jefferson. And there's been a response online of like, well, you talk good about conduct detrimental to the team. What about Joe Barry and all this stuff? And then LaFleur goes out, and he is feisty. Right. He comes out, and he's just like, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. He's just like, he was suspended. You know, it'll make the team better. It'll make our relationship better. That's it. So then he starts getting questions about Jaire Alexander, and he's like, I'm not answering those. Or when he's like, how about your relationship? And he goes, with the Vikings? He's like, I want to talk about the Vikings. And he finally answers it to one, I think it was Bill, who asked. And he basically goes, listen, I think our relationship will be better after this. It's not just one thing. So it wasn't just the coin, and it wasn't the injury thing too, because Jaire had like a shoulder issue and it kind of went like misdiagnosed because they didn't put him on IR, but he missed about 6 games. And it wasn't that. But there's been like stories about Jaire. Jaire has kind of made some comments about Joe Barry at times, and it's like, I can only do what is called. And it just seems like there's a level of dysfunction there. And the defense has to be miserable because while the offense is so young, so inexperienced, they're crushing it right now. With injuries abound, no receivers, Luke Musgrave has been out, all these things, they're still doing well. Jordan Love is in top 5 in the entire NFL in passing touchdowns right now. He needs just 51 yards, 251 yards away from a 4,000-yard season, and he will have, I think it's 4,000, or at least it's enough to have more passing yards than any Bears quarterback in Bears history. That's right. The first year as a starter, he did it. Suck it, Chicago. Right there.
Of course.
Suck it.
Of course.
It always comes back. So I don't care. Anyway, so it's a mess right now. And we're hoping that Jaren Hall doesn't run all over the Packers and throw all over the Packers.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, it is dysfunctional and it just looks bad all the way around.
Yeah, that's always weird. We know the Packers run a tight ship. And I think Jaire dances around the line there for them, and not even like in a super detrimental way either. It's not like he's doing crazy ass shit. I think it's just a little too spicy for them. Speaking of spicy, guys, we got a big announcement. Huge announcement, right, Tom? How big? Show me with your hands. Bigger. Too big. Right there. You see it? Okay, so Tom and I are streaming tomorrow night, Cowboys Lions. We are streaming that game. And first thing, we're giving away $3,000 again in underdog credit. Okay?
Yeah.
$1,000 each of the first 3 quarters. So 1, you got to be watching. And 2, you got to be signed up at Underdog. 3,
Can I put down my hands, or do I have to keep them up here?
This special right now is only available to new customers who sign up with our code GPS, with our link in the description. So this is a special for only GPS customers, new GPS customers. If you're already with us, if you already rocked with us with the promo code,
hey, you get that money.
You qualify to get that $1,000 regardless. You can win during the stream on Saturday. So you got to join us Saturday. If you've been thinking about signing up at Underdog, do it now. You'll get that special, this Jared Goff half fantasy point special to the Cowboys, which we know he will hit. Okay, we know he will hit it, and then new customers are also going to get a Jordan Love-based special this week as well. Okay. And then if you're living in the states of Alabama, Tennessee, Wyoming, Mississippi, and newly added Missouri and West Virginia, you can play in the Pick'em Champions game, which is player versus player format. It's the classic Pick'em game. Okay. You make your Pick'em team, but you're just playing against the other people in the championship thing. If you get the highest score, you qualify to win in the Pick'em Champions. So 2 new states added, Missouri, West Virginia. So if you're in Missouri, if you're in West Virginia, and you haven't been able to do Pick'ems, those are now available in the Champion edition only. So a lot of stuff. Just join us Saturday. You can qualify to win $1,000 in Underdogger credit. Underdogger credit. Yeehaw! That's for Missouri, baby. And got to sign up now. Code GPS, link description, QR code. Or mail in your entry. Snail mail. You find the address.
If the Bears go get Caleb Williams, maybe. But I don't know.
The Raiders are another team supposedly would be interested in Russell Wilson. And I kind of hope
there's no way, dude.
for the rivalry it happens.
Mm-hmm. No, the
Actually,
receiving talent's not great. No,
yeah.
Good. Sorry.
I honestly want the Russell Wilson situation. I want him to be traded right now to a playoff contender, and I want the Broncos to sneak into the playoffs, and I want the Jets to be in the playoffs
This year.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because you got Joe Flacco, former Broncos quarterback.
The Jets are eliminated.
You got
anyway.
Trevor Siemian, former Broncos quarterback. We had Case Keenum with the Texans, former Broncos quarterback. Joe Flacco beat both Broncos former quarterbacks in Siemian and Case Keenum.
I think it's only fair. This was coming up in the chat too. They were like, so Flacco wins the Super Bowl, he gets all of Deshaun Watson's money, right?
Dude, Flacco only balls when money's on the line.
Yes.
You dangle a $100 million contract in front of Flacco, you're going to win the Super Bowl, Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Old school. It is.
The Browns got to figure out how to get Watson in jail, and they can move on from that contract. Just get him in jail, and you're free.
They're just going to like tempt him to jaywalk and just be like, right there, officer, get him.
Because that's in the contract, right? Like
they're going to be like kitten in the treats. Like you don't
he
have a
does
permit to
something
go
bad,
with a ladder
that's
up to
the
go
only
get
way
him.
out.
Don't have it.
Jaywalking.
Nope. Jaywalking, rescuing kittens.
Yeah.
Maybe forgot to scan an item at the grocery store that was underneath the cart because you don't check the cart. But the Browns organization put all the things in the cart. Listen,
if you forget to do it, do you go back in and pay for it, Tom?
That's actually a great skit idea. The Browns attempting to get Deshaun Watson in trouble so they don't have to pay him. They're like, we've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
Terrible mistake. Oof. Oof.
They go out and like over speed limit signs. They put up a faster number so he thinks he can drive faster.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Ooh, Sutton gone.
Sutton's not gone though. What do you mean?
Maybe because he was hurt.
Oh, because he got injured.
Maybe.
I think Jerry Jeudy's going to look good with Stidham.
Matt Nagy, because at least we saw success with Nathaniel Hackett. For like, well, I know you could argue like last year for the Chiefs, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of Matt Nagy, and it's not good. It's not good. I mean, yeah, it's just not. It's not good. Packers wide receiver core looking pretty good. Oh,
Did you see David Njoku call out Adam Rank, our friend Adam Rank?
Oh my God!
In his post game, they were asking him about something. I don't even know what the question was. And you're just like, and that Adam Rank sucks. It's like, wow. So Rank must have said something about the Browns.
Yeah, probably.
Njoku was like, he sucks.
You just gotta be like, listen, Adam picks the Bears to like win the division. I think he picked him to win like 12 games this year. So, yeah, we love Adam Rank here.
A whole reason I know Adam Rank is because I made a whole video trashing him for picking against the Broncos. I went hard on Adam Rank, and now we're friends. So maybe, David, maybe you and Adam can become friends.
You could be best friends. All right, let's get into power rankings, Brandon. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Let's get into power rankings. Wait, yours came out yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was a day late this week because that Russell Wilson thing happened Wednesday, so that took priority. Yeah, let me bring in the power ranks.
True. Yeah, I mean, again, it's the Watson deal is just bad all the way around. It's gonna be the Browns, but like if they're able to somehow, some way, either get or win the Super Bowl this year with all of their injuries, with not the quarterback that they just traded the farm for, gave the most ridiculous contract to, what is that gonna say about the NFL?
Yeah, there's two things. Okay, so I think the Jets defense has already given up. We didn't get the Jets defense we watched all season. So there's probably how good the Browns are. You can't really use Thursday night as a good indicator because I think Jets checked out. What the Browns do in the playoffs is going to be really, really interesting. Like if Flacco continues to play at this level against the playoff teams who got a dog in the fight, like it'll be crazy. It will be truly crazy if he goes on another Flacco tear. Like we're expecting it right now. Like we're expecting him to do playoff Joe shit. I don't know if it can happen. I wish the Jets had something to play for, so we could have gauged really like where they're at. But
I don't think so. Yankees
and the Browns didn't do anything in the second half. Like I think Flacco had like 10 passing yards in the second half.
They didn't do anything. They played.
They
very
didn't need
conservative
to,
ball.
obviously, but like,
no, he's not trying to get kicked off. I mean, Jaire, I don't think is going anywhere. I mean, LaFleur said that much.
All right, here you go. Here you go. Now I felt bad. I felt bad for doing something, and you didn't do it either. So then I felt less bad.
You didn't put anybody at number 2?
No, nobody deserves number 2. First of all, there's not a second best team in the NFL right now. You're all like 4. Everybody's 4. I forgot to put the Chiefs in. I just totally spaced the Chiefs.
Oh, I didn't forget.
And you didn't put the Chiefs in the top 10, which made me feel
no.
much better.
I didn't forget.
I forgot about
why
them.
in God's name would they be in the top 10? Dude, they got their ass kicked by the Raiders. They look like trash right now. They're still going to make the postseason most likely. They're fine. But, dude, no, like they're not a top 10 team right now. They're just not. There's no bias or anything like that. They're just not playing well. I put the Seahawks because they're being more competitive. The Seahawks are at least they beat the Eagles. They were like super competitive with the Cowboys weeks ago. Like, yeah, no, they got the win against the Titans.
I got Seahawks at 11. You got them at 10, so we're right there. Bucks, we both got at 9. Both got Tampa at 9. We got the Rams in there too. So I put the Rams at 7. You got them at 8.
Yep.
I think they're the most dangerous team right now. Outside of
they're a spicy team.
You'd say the Ravens, 49ers, but
yeah. I mean, so that's what you want to talk about interesting matchups. Dude, week 18, the Rams are going to be playing the 49ers for a likely playoff spot, and the 49ers are going to be playing for a number 1 seed. Like, those two teams are going to go at it.
They're going to play.
And I really hope the 49ers win, unless the Packers lose on Sunday. Then I won't care.
Yeah, we thought it might be a game where the Niners are resting their starters. Now they got to win that.
They have to, which is great for the Packers.
Yeah.
But Bills, I saw you have a little bit lower or higher.
They went from 7 last week to 8 this week.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they won.
Mm-hmm.
But they let the Chargers hang around, man.
I dropped them a bit. They were at like
I did not like their performance against the Chargers.
No.
Turned the ball over. LA played mostly better. But I still believe, I mean, that's just the Bills this year.
It's just, they looked like the old Bills before Ken Dorsey. Like with Ken Dorsey, you know what I mean? Like this season. That's a criticism.
Yeah. You had the Browns all the way at 2. That looked smart today.
Yeah. I didn't drop the 49ers terribly low. The reason I didn't is because I still think they are the best team in the NFC. Like, even with like that loss and what happened, I still think, because we've seen what they've done to teams in the NFC. So I think they still are one of the best teams in football just because they got beat. Don't mean.
When you look at that game, they really had one horrible quarter. The third quarter is where the Ravens scored 17. And my take was like, that's when Trent Williams left the game too. Mm-hmm. And 2 of their losses this year is when Trent Williams hasn't played. I think he's their most important player. Like, we talked about McCaffrey, we've talked about Purdy, and they're probably equally important. That's a better way to put it. Like, I think he is equally important to their offensive success. As you could argue anybody. They're just not, and they had 2 more guys get hurt on the line in that game. So it's just bad situation, a couple tough injuries. They shuffled shit around and didn't work out. Looking back on that game, they got their ass kicked, but not as bad as it looked while it was happening, if that makes any sense.
No, I mean, because I said that too. The 49ers, they kept that game close for a while, even with all those turnovers.
Sco Buffs.
Go Wisconsin, but yeah, I don't watch college football, so.
Sco Buffs.
That's it. I want to look at it's not even that bad. You just have a cajillion teams. That's fine. Raiders, they got an honorable mention. Steelers got an honorable mention for me too. Wow, the Packers are in your top 14. I'm impressed with that.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on putting your Packers in there after,
the Panthers.
almost not beating the
It's actually
Panthers.
similar. Yeah.
But really what it came down to me was the NFL playoff seeding.
Mm.
Let me
Hey, Riley, happy freaking
Let me
fracking
look
birthday.
here.
Let's go. Let's go.
damn it. It's not what I want.
You only have 5% chance to make it right now, but have a great weekend. Have a good birthday, Riley. Take care.
Here we go. Okay, so they're not in the playoffs right now, the Packers, but they're sandwiched between the Saints and the Vikings as the teams, on the bubble, right? So my thinking is the Packers are better than the Vikings and they're
playing them
better
on
than the
Sunday.
Saints. So I like them as the best bubble team. And then I sandwiched the Cowboys and the Eagles into one spot. So I kind of had an opening there because I'm so freaking annoyed by the Eagles and Cowboys. I'm like, you know what? I don't think that the Packers are the 7th best team in the NFC. I really think they are the 8th. They're the 8th best team in the NFC right now.
That's fair.
But if something happens to those teams up above them, I like them to get in. I don't know if I like them to win anything, but I like them to get in. Got to give Jordan Love credit, man. He's delivered. He's delivered.
No,
He's had the ups, he's had the downs. It was like this, whoop whoop, and now he's just hovering like this.
And the fact that he's doing it with all the injuries, wide receivers gone, no stable running game, terrible defense. What in the world? A football.
Found that at my parents' house. Forgot how loyal of a Buffs fan I've been my whole life, guys. My whole life.
Yeah. What's just so effing frustrating, dude, is we saw and I know beating the Chiefs doesn't look that great now, but like they beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. Like they showed this team can, like the defense, everybody could play well. It just looks like the regression, especially from the defensive side of the ball, has been so significant these past few. It's just so disappointing
Because
that they got it.
Ball.
It's so damn frustrating.
You need complimentary football.
It's Jersey Hamza. It's true.
All right.
Want to preview some games?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's boogie, baby. We got tomorrow's game that Perna and I will be streaming. It's the Lions and Dude, I'm excited for this game. This
I am
could be
too.
a
I think it should
fun
be
game.
The only little caveat is, do the Lions play better or worse knowing they don't have much to lose? You know what I mean? Does that loosen them up a little bit and let them just go out there and play freely now that they've clinched it? Or do they do what a lot of teams do? Like once they've gotten in, you're just like, oh, they're going to cruise through the last 2 games.
Yep.
Not really give it their all. And it's going to be a blowout for the Cowboys.
Yes. Keep Pierce. Don't make the same mistake you did with Bisaccia.
Oh, it's so easy. Mark Davis has the easiest decision on earth right now.
Theoretically, yes, they could. If the 49ers lose out, and I think if the Lions win out, I think they get it.
There's a couple weird situations there, but
again, I mean, like it's going to be really interesting because if the Rams do make it in, you could see that Stafford returning to Detroit. They could get the 2 seed, they could get the 1 seed. I don't think the 49ers losing to the Commanders this weekend, but
we've got 2 of the sexiest storylines that could just happen,
Flacco, dude, it could be like Browns-Ravens AFC Championship game. Oh,
dude, Browns-Ravens, Stafford Goff, like, good God.
Let's go.
And the Rams, Rams need something other than their team to make people interested in the Rams. It sucks to say that, but like nobody gives a shit about the Rams outside of the loyal Rams following. It's why, like, when they won the Super Bowl and I put up a video right after about the Rams winning the Super Bowl, it was like my worst performing video of the year.
Yeah.
Like nobody cares about that team, and it sucks because Stafford's awesome. Sean McVay's awesome.
Yeah.
Puka Nakua's tearing it up, but they need they need Lions fans to be interested in that game. All right. I took the Browns. Obviously, smart move.
Just lack of consistency is infuriating.
This one was tough. And I'm siding on the fact that the Cowboys have more to play for right now than the Lions really do.
Yeah,
but like sending the Packers home was playing for something. That's a division rival, man. That's a little different.
They're going to drag you down
point.
to the depths.
Who are you taking in this game?
I picked the Cowboys.
Okay.
And just because their home record is like really damn good. And I think you just are going to see like their offense just performs better. Like indoors, like at home. And I'm not saying the Lions won't. Like, I think this is going to be a really close game, and I would not be surprised if the Lions won, especially with the ground game. Like, Gibbs might tear them up, but
I hope I'm
Cowboys
wrong.
getting the win.
Cowboys are just kind of in a desperate situation right now. So
I picked the Bills.
I did.
I picked the Bears.
Okay. Easy.
I picked the Raiders, I think.
Yeah, this one was tough.
And this is a huge game, dude. Yeah, I picked the Raiders. This is a huge game for playoff implications as well.
Yeah, for both teams. They both need this. So this is an under the radar, I think, like really good game in terms of its weight. The reason I didn't pick the Raiders is just because I'm not sold on Aiden O'Connell. Like, still my favorite stat. No completions after the first quarter, and they beat the Chiefs. Like, obviously, some things could happen. He can put together a decent game. He's had some stretches, but I'm going to bank on my man, Minshew Mania, to be the difference maker there.
See, I just think the defense is going to potentially get after Minshew. Like, that again, the Raiders defense, if they can do that to some other teams, I think they could do it to the Colts.
Yeah.
So,
no, their defense is legit.
I got Rams.
Yeah, easy win for the Rams.
Got Eagles.
Easy win for the Eagles.
Got Bucks.
Yeah. I don't think that's an easy win, but
no,
Bucks
but
win.
Yeah, 49ers, I got them.
All these teams are getting get right games for the playoffs.
Yes, 100%. Jaguars, I got them
dude,
too.
I almost went with the Panthers here. Almost.
I don't doubt, because like we'll see about Trevor, and see.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are also just in free fall right now. Like it's bad. Occasional. I think he's gonna. I think he should. The problem is the Vikings defense is very good. I think you'll be good at least for a touchdown with Aaron Jones. I think that would be. You'll be good for a touchdown. Maybe just like a 95-yard game or something like that. So we'll see. But yeah, it's a little challenging. But yeah, I got the Jags here.
All right.
Ooh.
I did it. And there's
the
only reason, the thing that pushed me to the Dolphins' favor is I think the Ravens proved that they're the best team in the league. And every time we think that this season, the opposite happens. Literally, that's how I made my pick.
Okay. So it's not necessarily grounded in like what's on the field. You're just like, I'm going through experience here.
Yeah, it's not because I love Mike McDaniel more than any coach in the league. It's not because I want to see Tua continue to prove the haters wrong. It's not because I like what Fangio's done with the Dolphins defense, and the Dolphins defense has been pretty damn good over the last month. It's simply because the Ravens just solidified themselves as the best team in the league, and now that title is going to be removed from them so quickly. Also, Lamar Jackson. Everybody thinks he's the front runner for MVP. Last guys that happened to, Dak Prescott plays like shit. Jalen Hurts plays like shit. Brock Purdy plays like shit. Sorry, Lamar. I feel like this is going to be a bad game, dude. Just based on the fact that we are starting to really think you're the MVP. It's my superstition pick of the week.
That's fair. Yeah, I picked the Ravens at home. It's going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be fun. I'll be streaming this game. It's going to be a really fun game because it's for the number 1 seed right now. So,
yeah, it's a huge game.
Getty. Boom. Hold on 1 second, Perna.
Hey.
Appreciate you, Samuel. Thank you, and thank you. I picked the Texans. CJ Stroud coming back. Let's go.
And they're out. The Texans are still fighting for a playoff spot. They're at 8 right now, so they can still get into the postseason.
Yeah. Ooh, CJ coming back against the Titans or Lamar. I think Lamar is like a must every single week at this point.
Yeah, neither of those defenses are good matchups for those QBs.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
I would go with Lamar. You have the run too.
Yeah.
I picked the Seahawks, but I think this is going to be a close game.
Yeah, it's 100% like, is Mason Rudolph going to play the way he did again? I have no clue.
There you go. Lions and Eagles.
We're getting the Stid bump. We're getting the
That's
Stid
crazy.
bump, baby.
That's
Stids versus Stick. Stid
Oh,
versus
boy.
Stick. It's a Stid stick. If you got a Stid on your stick,
Yes.
you might want to go to the doctor, Tom. If you got the Stid on your stick, go to the doctor. Broncos win this one, and it's not going to be pretty. This game's not going to be anything worth watching, but we get a win.
Yeah, I picked the Chargers to win.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Fair enough. Whatever. I don't care. I don't
Yeah, I
give
mean,
a
at that
shit.
point, dude, who gives a crap, dude?
Broncos lose by 100, don't care. Win by 100, don't really care. I just don't care. I don't fucking care.
Whoa, Samuel! For the hundo! Boop, boop.
How is
Listen.
your day, Tom?
My day's going by. It's pretty good. I got a couple videos I want to do. Just doing GPS with my good old pal Brandon Perna.
This
Playing
should be a
little-
rule. If you want to ask someone how their day is, you have to give them $99.
Johnny John John!
Better now, Samuel. His day is better now.
I appreciate you. Damn it! What is going on? Mac went up big
Oh,
for the kitty. Coach should have known he's from Charlotte. I mean, that's just be the facts. That just be the facts. I know it's not Packers, but why not? Appreciate it. Y'all crazy. I picked the Chiefs to win. So the only reason is because Browning against that defense, I'm like, maybe. And it's not based off the Chiefs offense. Also, can we talk about Jamar Chase is like picking fights with the Chiefs defense again? And it's like, I don't know. I know the Bengals playoff hopes are waning right
is
now.
he going to play? Is Jamar Chase going to play?
I don't know.
is
He's
he
talking
healthy?
crap about him again.
I like when my shit talking is by a fully healthy player.
Oh, if they win out, they have a 91% chance.
Yep.
But they have to beat the Chiefs and the Browns.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's going to happen.
The Bengals are very good when they're not playing teams in their own division, so I'm going to roll with that.
it is.
And the Chiefs
Sure,
and
yeah,
Bengals, man, they just got a weird history lately. So to me, this is a coin toss game. Also, do we even need the coin toss?
Diggs.
Speaking of Jaire,
Diggs.
how about we just have the home team? They have to take the ball first. Let's just make the coin. Talk about an antiquated, dumb thing. Hot take. We don't need the coin toss.
I don't think I have.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Whoa! Hondo! Make it a rule.
Make it a rule.
How's your day? Sorry, I need $100 to answer.
Samuel.
Johnny John John!
You
Sorry,
broke
Berto.
your own rule, Samuel. You gave him $200. Now Tom has to give you $300, Samuel.
Damn it! I'm losing money on GPS. Appreciate you, Sam. All right. Hey, you picked up Pat. Oh, wait, you might be cursing with that. But hey, let's go, baby.
No, I picked this before I knew Jaron Hall was starting. Jaron
And
Hall.
so now you're still picking the Packers, I would hope.
Yeah, kids in the hall, you know?
Hey, let's go. Dude,
There you go.
Justin Jefferson's probably going to torch us. Jaron Hall is going to look much better than whatever his ceiling is. We made Bryce Young have his best game of his career. I think the Packers still pull this out.
I don't think Jaron Hall's going to look good.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I just
dude,
don't.
I'm just hoping.
I know. It goes against everything that's happened, which is why I think that.
That's fair, Splash. Yeah, I have the Packers like legit. I think they have a good chance to win. It's going to be all on that offense to see if they could just move the ball against the Vikings D. That's it. But, oh my God.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You're a crazy man, Samuel.
Hold on.
That is awesome.
You know what?
That
Just
is
you
awesome.
get a Carmi.
Johnny John John!
Woo!
Crazy.
Bam.
You crazy.
Emma Lagasse.
You crazy, Samuel. But I think it will be a fun game. I'm really looking forward to it. It's the last stream/game of 2023, right before the ball drops. Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
And then it comes down to week 18 if the Packers are going to make the postseason. Like, that's it. That's it. Dude, like, Like these last 2 weeks are gonna be insane. I
Yeah.
can't freaking wait. The playoffs are gonna be wild this year. I wish both our teams were like definitely in it. It would have made it a lot more fun. But yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal.
If the Packers sneak in, who do you want? Who do you want to be playing?
Lions, no question. I want the Lions, regardless of who wins, because I will be so stoked. And that's not like a cocky like, oh, we can.
I think you want the Eagles.
No.
I think you want the Eagles.
No. I want the Lions because I think the storyline is amazing, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the rubber match. It's the first Lions playoff game in years.
Yes.
On top of that, you know, it will be insane at Ford Field. I will be ecstatic just to have the Packers in the postseason. If they beat the Lions, even crazier. If the Lions beat the Packers, because again, the fact that this rebuilding, evaluating team made it to the postseason, I'm not going to be happy. But you know what? It's the Lions. I'll be like, all right, like, let's go, baby. Rivalry on. Let's go. Either way, it'll be great. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's just like, that's where it should be. That's how
I think I
NFC
think the
South.
team you guys could beat though is actually the Eagles.
I mean, I don't know, man. It depends on what effing defense shows up. Like, that's the thing. We could, but I just don't know what.
I feel like the
defenses-
Eagles are reeling a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll build on their win from last week. We'll see.
Oh my god! No!
Oh
I
boy.
feel like, you know what? You get a special one for that.
Morning, oh what a beautiful day. Pretty woman walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I like to meet, pretty woman.
Kirk Cousins, everybody. That's Broncos' future quarterback right there.
I hope so.
Appreciate
I swear to
you, Sam.
God.
Yeah, like this. Like it is the story. First playoff game in Ford Field history. Like, come on. It's got to be against the Packers or Stafford. Like, it's got to be one or the other. Because even Stafford being there for the first playoff game in Ford Field, dude, that's beautiful. How could you not be romantic about football? Come on now.
How could you not want to fuck football?
What?
You said romantic. I just think sex.
Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
I'm gonna get a little Joe Flacco short up, and I'm gonna get that short Jess made up at some point.
Hey, there you go. We'll do
help
yeah,
promote her video.
Off season, we'll do draft stuff.
Yeah.
Off,
Hey,
not
don't forget, everybody. We got a GPS Clips channel. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers over at
Let's
GPS
go.
Clips.
Shout out Johnny Barks.
Barks is a machine. And Jess is almost at 10,000 subscribers. So my wife's channel, Jess Brain, big BTS Christmas special she dropped. Go check it.
The band?
What do you got? Yeah, BTS, the band.
Okay. I have a skit that I want to do that I had an idea. There's like actually 2 skits that I want to drop. I don't know when I'll drop them, but
Is it
one's
the
definitely
Deshaun
coming out
Watson
today. What'd you say?
Was it the Deshaun Watson one you thought of during today's
No,
episode?
but I actually kind of might do that now too. Sorry, I found
You've
3 videos.
got a cop outfit, right?
I do, I think, yeah. I think I do. Jesus, Samuel! Wait up, Fanny! You crazy. Samuel, you crazy. You crazy. You crazy. You crazy. For the kid. Boop. Hold on, I'll give it real quick. So I'm going to put out at least one skit today. And just for Nathaniel Hackett.
I really enjoy making love to your ears. I think that you have beautiful ears. They fit very nicely. So I would say it'd be an erotic.
Samuel, you have beautiful ears, Samuel.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Ears are beautiful. Crazy. I appreciate you. So yeah, that and then Friday night Q&A tonight, and then probably another video tomorrow, and then we're also streaming together tomorrow night.
Hell yeah. Tomorrow will be fun.
We gonna rock. Ooh, start Casey. Let's go. But folks, we appreciate the heck out of you. We'll see you tomorrow for a little GPS After Dark. Let's go, baby. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destination. And don't forget, GPS. Sign up at Underdog so you can win.
I'm Tom.
And credit.